Good evening, everyone. Thanks again for coming to this Thursday night on another episode of SketchUp. Tonight, we have Jamal Anansi, the Kid Rock of LA, and we've got award-winning Becka Kenzie from Canada is here tonight as well. And then to round it up, Todd Rayner is back, and he's got some things to talk about too. And we'll get to that right after this a brief commercial break. Hey everybody, how's everybody doing here tonight?
Good.
We're doing great,
Good.
man. How about yourself, man?
Good.
What's going on, Mom? What's up, man? How y'all feeling?
All right, so we've got Jamal Anansi, the Kid Rock of LA. We got award-winning artist Becka Kenzie, and
Hello.
Todd Rayner is back up to round it all up. But don't forget, hit that follow button so that way we can continue to bring you these wonderful shows like our SketchUp and Nick Berrucci's The Original Art Show every Friday nights at 7 p.m. All right, okay, let's get going here. Todd, I kind of lost my track here. You just got your Kickstarter and you're getting ready to launch that. Give me the quick pitch on that.
Vampires, fairies, and Salem, Massachusetts. Old school horror.
Old school horror, yeah. Well, there's a little twist in that, and we'll come back to that. Becca, you too. You've got. I think you just finished the book, or what was it?
Yes. So I just finished the Wormhole Club Tragedy issue 5. Had it done on time for Fan Expo. I don't know. Does it show up okay?
Mhm.
Yes. There we go. Yeah. So pretty soon this will be a collected edition, but for now you can get issues 1 through 5 on my website, thebecca.com. And you can find them in various comic book shops in Southern Ontario. And my other book, the award-winning book, Gehenna Death Valley, you can get this in a few select comic book shops. I think it's still at Brave New Worlds in Philadelphia. But yeah. So I mainly write horror and sci-fi comics. And so tonight
that's a common theme that
sorry.
everybody is into. You know, it's like horror is a big thing that people do like to talk about and read about, right? And all your books are kind of has a touch of that. Same thing with the Jamal as well, because your series, the Dark One, has a touch of that. Tell us what that's about, Jamal.
Yeah, the Dark Ones. It's about a lot. It's about a post-apocalyptic future. No guns, no gasoline, no nuclear power. So everybody back to fighting with swords and bows and arrows and magic. Yeah. And we have, it's a pantheon of new guys that came and, fought the current guys we have and they won. And so they remade the world in their image. Yep. And so I have my one of my flagship titles, Ebony, specifically, this current series, Ebony Golden Gun, I'm gonna, kind of explore, the world and the lore, through her series, so every, issue of, her, series and her story, you'll get to, learn a little bit more about the characters, about the world they're living in. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That yours is very complex. Then, and you've got a lot of world building in there. What made you get into comics?
Man, just life and just sitting up and thinking about something different than the negative stuff I was doing. I always had stories in my head. Growing up when I was young. And my mother, way back when in elementary school, she was a special education teacher, and so all those skills, tips, and tricks that she learned to teach those kids, she taught me. Fresh out of preschool, so I was reading and writing my name by the age of 2. In the elementary school, I love the library. I love books. I love, I wanted to go for the, the hard books because all the other ones, they were short and they were easy. It's elementary school, mind you. And I was reading at like a 10th, 11th grade level. at that time. So I would gravitate towards the Iliad, the
Wow.
Odyssey, Sinbad the Sailor, and the 40 Thieves. I couldn't understand everything, but just I was engrossed in those stories, especially the ones about Greek mythology. And so I
Hmm.
always had that core, of epic, core love of epic tales and quests and stories. And then later on, as we growing up, also during that time, it was Hercules that was on, with Kevin Sorbo and Xena the Warrior
Hmm.
Princess. Then we
Yeah.
had,
Yes.
Conan the Barbarian, you know what I mean? And then we had Sailor
Yeah.
Moon cartoons with all the Marvel everything. That's when, it was hot, right? And so all that, love and, that was always just germinating, marinating within me. And then as I got more mature, life happened. I got away from comics and, things like that. But then I fell back into it with Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and seeing how fun comics could be. But also, a deeper dynamic with horror, specifically with The Walking Dead and that whole series. And I read the compendiums, all 150 issues or however many it is. It was just mind
Hmm.
blowing how deep and how engaging a story can be. And it's because Walking Dead is not about the zombies, it's about the people. And so that sense of drama, that sense of real horror and a real thriller and leading up and real villains, like the diabolicalness, that was just a beautiful thing. So I wanted to just emulate that using my skills, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time when all that stuff was like coming out. It's like
Best time.
there was a void that needed to be filled, and all that started coming out. It was great. Same thing. I enjoyed all that, but like
Yeah.
there wasn't enough like sci-fi back then too. So when they started coming out with Battlestar Galactica and Star Wars, that really just
Yeah.
hit it and really got the culture uh, going and moving more in that direction because we started seeing more things series like that, like Xena and
Hmm.
Favorites.
Cleopatra
Come on, man.
2000,
Those are
which
classics.
a lot of people don't talk
Yep.
about that, but I freaking love that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did kind of like a sci-fi Cleopatra 2000. I forgot the name of the actress, but this colored actress, she was in there too, and she was also the same one. And you like her? She was also in Firefly.
Oh,
That
Mm.
yeah,
really? That was
yeah,
her?
that was her, right?
Wow.
And I thought in that series she was the better character than the other characters in there. So I
Oh,
really like the way how
okay.
she pulled that off. And now you see her. She was in what's that really good series that she's been on, Suits, right?
Oh yeah.
That was a good one. All right, so let me before we continue, let's see what these guys are working on for the art auction. Hey Todd, what you got going
Yes.
there, buddy?
We have a sketch cover, typical when I'm on the show. I do a black and white
Uh-huh.
sketch cover. Yeah, so we
Of
got Rogue
Rogue,
because
right?
yeah, she's my one of my favorite X-Men. Her Wolverine Gambit,
Mm-hmm.
probably my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Jubilee's really good too. But
Just a
yeah,
big X-Men fan.
yeah, I started with GI Joe, but then I really, as Uncanny X-Men, Jim Lee era kind of came
Yeah.
out, I started going towards, as many fans did in the late '80s, early '90s. Like, I mean
Yeah,
that's my dude, and him and Tom McFarlane, right? But Spider-Man's a big one. But I'm more of a Marvel guy than DC, so I tend to draw more Marvel characters.
yeah. I'm with you on that. I'm more Marvel, big X-Men fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I started collecting early, so I wasn't an X-Men fan right away. But when they came out with that giant size, man,
Ooh.
I was hooked, solid on that. But yeah, so that's great. You got Rogue going on a sketch cover there. Your starting bid is $60. He's starting it
Yep.
off cheap. You want to get in on that action? Put that in the comments. You can start bidding right now. And Becca, big horror fan,
Yes.
enjoying the Earth Alien series. Been having a little chat with her on that.
Oh, we got to
What
figure
are you
that out.
working on tonight?
So first, has everyone been watching Alien Earth or
No,
yeah,
Not
and
no?
yet.
it's been
I haven't
really
been catching
good.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I won't spoil anything for you guys. But yeah, so one of my favorite characters, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. I meant to watch it again today to get the right pronunciation. But basically, it's the eyeball alien.
Oh,
my favorite of the series
Someone
so far.
knows.
Yeah.
yeah. It looks
Yeah.
like octopus and an eyeball hybrid.
Hey, don't spoil it for them.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, we
yeah.
good?
So it's, I mean, for something that doesn't speak, it has so much personality, and it's like, I cannot wait to see what happens eventually after this first season's done. So there's just to challenge myself, I just wanted to draw the sheep, the poor sheep, and the eyeball.
Oh, okay. So I have a question since you watched the Earth thing.
Yes.
Me and my husband has this debate, the eyeball.
Yeah.
Remember how I kept saying that eyeball is trying to sabotage the humans, and Mel had this other theory. No, I think maybe the eyeball is trying to warn, like maybe be helpful.
Yeah, I'm on the side of the eyeball is trying to sabotage, because it just when you look at it, even when it's like right now it's in the sheep eyeball socket, that it just looks so angry, and even like the sheep is mimicking its anger, right? So it's like it's plotting, it's planning something.
So it's up to something.
It's up to something. Yeah, exactly. And other stuff, like, again, I won't spoil more for anyone who hasn't seen it, but oh man, after episode 5, and I was like, yes, this is awesome. And I just can't wait to see, like, you know, what we're just suspecting is eventually going to happen.
Wait, is episode 5 the one that they go back in they recap?
Yeah.
The fight between the alien and the eyeball. I was like, what? The alien was scared of it, right?
Yeah.
There's
See,
a
now
lot
I'm mad I
of
don't miss this show. Yeah, now I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Now.
Man, you've got to watch it. It is.
I love Alien, love Predator. Yeah, so
it is trippy. There is one thing about it that I don't like.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say it.
You want to spoil it for you?
Oh man.
No.
Maybe we'll talk more about it at another time, like once.
It's like, we gotta talk.
I'm curious.
Off camera.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's not fair for the people who didn't watch it. Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for everybody.
I'm waiting for like all the episodes to drop so I can just binge it.
Yeah, man, watch the whole thing. I ain't gotta wait week to week and be like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Like I gotta say, it's been really hard going like week by week, because I'm like, I want to see the next episode, and then it's done, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It's
As soon as I found out about that series and I saw a little bit of it, I was hooked. I couldn't wait.
You know, what was interesting was I never got to talk to her face to face, Becca. But guys, Todd, Jamal, I met Becca at Canada it was like a dingy bar, was it? Or no, it was like a bar.
It was like the Cowboys bar.
It was a cowboy bar. And the girls were all dressed up like cowgirls.
Yeah.
And
the girls that were working there.
Yeah. And very sexy. But that's not the point. The point is she was doing this 1 hour explosion where you only have 1 hour to paint on an 18 by 24. And Becca blew everyone away by just going for this alien painting, a xenomorph, and it was so dope. I'm not saying this for lip service, by the way, Becca. It was just freaking fantastic.
That's the one on the cover, on the little.
Yeah.
That one. Okay.
Yeah. She did it in 1 hour. Can you believe that?
Insanity. Where can I see this?
If you look at in the private, what do you call it, the group chat, Todd, I used it as part of the graphics, so you can see me in there right now. Of course, it's cropped, but I got the main stuff in there.
Okay,
that's still 1 hour, man.
Which thank you by the way for having those graphics. They came in handy for the art socials. Promoting the show.
Hey.
And also thank you for your comments about the painting. I was low key terrified. I'm not gonna lie, like painting that.
What?
Yeah, like I decided like, okay, I will do this xenomorph. And there was a couple of moments where I'm like, this is not gonna work. and then the paint was cooperating. I'm like, okay, it's working. The gradients are working fine. And then I started working on the xenomorph, and I had my next panic moment was it's not centered. And then finally, once I got the shape in, I'm like, okay, it's good. It's good. Stop panicking. Just go for it, you know? And
Yeah. Now, when you started that, okay, when you started that, you were just mainly working on the background stuff.
yeah.
So nobody had an idea like what you were doing. And I was in the crowd, you know, because I was moving around, taking videos, taking pictures, and all that. And everybody was asking, what the heck is she drawing? Nobody could tell, right? Because it took you a little while to do the background. All right, and when you finally got that, then you started working on the xenomorph, and it still wasn't quite clear yet until you started really working on the shape of it all, and then it became clear. So for a while, you had everybody guessing what you were gonna do, and where is this gonna end up? Right? We could tell what everybody else was doing like right away, but with yours, it took time. But then when they caught on to it, and they saw that what you were doing, then you started. People were getting really impressed, and were blown away with how you did that.
Like I'm happy to hear that. So
Yeah,
You know what?
That's
In the
phenomenal.
other point of perspective, I mean, you're talking about your internal terrors, but outside, you look like I'm above you guys. I'm totally singing this. No one can touch me. I'm a master. I'm so cool. And she had this like, what's it, like a beanie? I think you know, wearing this black beanie. She just looks like wearing black jeans, black shirt, kind of like was a punk rock goth kind of, you know, that outfit with like the silver bling bling going on. It's like, whoa, this girl is freaking killing it, and everyone's like, whoa. And there was like this aura of don't touch me, I'm in my zone. It's like, wow, it's so scary.
Nice.
You don't want to touch this ice goth girl. So yeah, like
badass.
Thank you. Like if you knew the internal terror that was actually going on.
It was like that Renaissance painter kind of look.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I was like, I'm so freaking chill, but in the same time, I will kill you, like an assassin profession look. Like, oh. That's why I really wanted to talk to you, but I was so scared, so I didn't touch you. I didn't touch you or even go near you.
I'm so sorry. I'm like, if for real, if I look like that, please come and talk to me. I will, you know, I can
well,
look
now we know.
intense, but really just come over and say hi. Like, I'm so sorry.
Oh, why are you sorry?
It's kind of cool though how she got a
Fan Expo Canada. You did a man thing, right?
Yes.
What was that one thing?
It was man thing.
Right, man thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and that was, I wasn't there. I just saw this on your page, right? So, but if you guys want to check it out, go to her page and you'll see the work that she's done. You'll see this man thing that she did. She had to do that also in an hour, and you'll see the xenomorph as well, right? Really good art pieces to look at. Okay. All right.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right, so you're doing the sheep.
Yeah. Poor sheep, but I mean, at this point, they're the same entity, right? Like again, just the expression from the episode. I'm like, I have to capture that.
That's going to be the key to how you handle that with the eye. So we'll see how that comes out.
The sheep thing is very symbolic in a biblical sense. You know how there's like in the biblical Christian sense, the lamb is
the sacrificial.
Yeah, but this is a perverse meaning in the show. It's just
Well, now I have to check it out. Like, I love Alien. I gotta check this out now.
Yeah, and the thing is, I love how they did it because it's such a cliche thing in horror, but with the way they do it with sci-fi, I'm like, this is awesome. You know, just again.
Alien was sci-fi horror. I mean, I always felt it was sci-fi horror. I'm sure everybody had a different opinion, but Alien movies, they were always
they for sure. Yeah, for sure. It wasn't even. It was only sci-fi because it was in space, but at its core, it was a horror movie. That's what I believe.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because it was like just creepy and the build up and the what's going on, the lurking in the shadows and the dark, and it's
so good.
It was creepy. Yeah, that's a horror movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this too about the show that they capture that aesthetic in the series. That yeah.
You know, also what's interesting is the direction of the film is a mashup of the heavy philosophical debate that goes on in Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
So it has the total heavy philosophical, kind of almost sometimes boring a bit, but that gravitas of Blade Runner mashed in with horror. So yeah, it's they're taking up to a different level.
I don't feel that, but Becca, is there anyone in there that you are rooting for
in the show?
Yeah,
just the eyeball.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I am rooting.
Is that a hard choice for you?
No, I mean there are some honorable mentions. I'll say Morrow, the cyborg.
Right. So for me, right.
Yeah.
There are choices. Okay. There's more than two choices, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying not to give it away. Okay. And I don't like any of the options. Okay. Because I feel like any of those options, if I was in there, is going to get me killed. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like you're caught between the proverbial rock and a hard place, but yet you're going to be forced to choose. You're going to have to choose, like, what side do you want to be on, or who do you want to be with? Right. So
yeah.
In that sense, I think that's where they've been kind of like successful in how they're carrying that series. But yeah, hope you guys check it out. And we get to hear your opinion over
you talked it up. I'm gonna go do it right now after we get done with this interview. I'm like, okay,
yeah, but the pacing is slow.
the pacing is not slow.
That's what I heard. And that's what threw me off is I don't mind slow movies, but people were saying it's too slow, and I was just like, okay, well, we'll see.
It's worth it. Like the payoff.
Yeah. Like if it's slow, as long as you're feeding me information.
Yes.
Right. But if it's there and I don't understand why you have that scene or that act in there and it's not moving the story forward and you're just, I don't know, talking about something kind of silly. It might be for character development or something. Maybe that's why they put it in there. But I'm looking for information that's gonna make me to like this, right? And sometimes you do need those slow moments because that's where you develop those memorable moments. Some of those are going to be memorable moments where you get into this deep talk where you start developing the feelings for the characters or what's going on there, right? So yeah, they're needed. Can't always be like action all the time, moving from scene to scene.
I found that's most effective when the audience already trusts, the writer of the particular, like, for example, like with, stories or books like that, he can, a lot of times, like you say, like, I don't know, somebody who writes fast. What's his name? James Patterson. Like the pace is real fast, right? Yeah. And you trust him because you're used to him writing a certain way. Now, if he starts off a book and it's kind of slow, your trust you already built up for him. He's like, no, let me just stick this out because I know he's gonna pick it up because this is, James Patterson. That's what he does. So it's like, it's trying to just establish that trust with the, with the audience. That's one of the things I'm trying to do, like as far as my writing, just try to elevate my craft and everything. Try to, because on me coming out my first initial, series and the volumes, it's an anthology. Because I spent so much time developing the world and my characters, I just wanted to kind of get all out, and I wasn't exactly sure where to start from. And it's kind of hard being a writer to get other writers to read and critique and trying to help you plan your stuff out. Like, it's super hard, so I had to just kind of figure that out on my own. Through sitting down, talking to customers, selling my book, and when I'm talking about my book and when I'm giving them, I'm like, okay, it'll be better if I had this, it'll be better if I had that. right? And like I said, I have so much lore and so much world I built because I'm a fan of the epic tales, like the Game of Thrones. You know, he wrote, J.R. Tolkien, he wrote a whole Silmarillion, which is basically like an info dump, just to write, 4 or 5 books, you know what I mean? But he had all that he had, and I looked at the index, dude had probably a couple thousand years of history, right? That he didn't even use. He just wanted to have it.
That's crazy.
Shit. You know what I mean? It is. I'm just but I'm amazed at how detailed it was and how he. So I was in love with that because I was always the type of person to play a video game and customize my character or do this and do that. That's kind of like inbred, I guess, in a writer. You want to just mold the world, but it's also about that order and trying to introduce all that world and the concept and the characters to the audience to have them digest it, also in the comic book format. So it wasn't just about me just trying to focus my stories, but also try to do it towards palatable to kids. That's why I just got done watching what was that? Dark Crystal, the newer one that came out.
Yeah.
The TV show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to learn about tone because me and mine, because I wrote most of that 98% of my stuff in prison, right? And so me and that mindset and that dynamic, and it was a lot of coarse language and a whole bunch of violence that came with it. So I wanted to, and I see that now. And I, when I was teaching the class just recently, a month ago, at Tree Academy and everything, teaching, the art of, storytelling, everything like that, I found out then I can only choose a couple of my stories to actually teach and introduce to these kids. So I'm like, okay, let me try to, like I said, I watched Dark Crystal and try to just get tone right. I can still have the action, I can still have the darkness and everything like that, because Amulet, which is another comic book series, it starts light, but it gets dark too. But the tone changes, but it's still palatable to the teenage, So I try to just learn that technique and try to, push it towards, info dumping, but not make it obvious, and just put more technique and subtext behind my stories and more fun. And also, my bad, I'm talking a lot.
No. This is interesting as a fellow writer. I get it.
Right? Right? Yeah. And then I had to pay special attention to the comic book format, right? And because I just recently wrote another story. It's another Ebony story. It's about them in LA, and they searching for relics, because in my world, because the new guys won, the magic of all the old world came back, right? And so a lot of relics that are in museums, they have their magic back. So anybody who grabs a relic and learn how to use it, they can get that magic, right? And so the totems of the new world, they basically told a couple, Ebony and her friends, a couple others, hey, go to these museums, get these relics and bring them back so they can be in safe hands and not in the hands of people who are cruel. That's the gist of the story, right? But it's mostly about introducing the world introducing the world to the audience, and also introducing the dynamic between Ebony and Sam, who are best friends. Especially for what happens later on in Ebony and the Golden Gun, which I'm writing. I want to have what happens in that story have more of an impact. So I got to establish things and add subtext here and add history there, and try to just get that flow right. Because I want people not just read a story and be like, okay, that was cool. I'm not reading. I'm not writing comics just because it's fun to do. Even though that's true. To me, comics is like a serious craft work, right? I take it as serious as a sculptor, or as an artist. When you draw, or a painter. Like, this is serious. Something I want to not just do, but get better at and learn from. You know what I mean? And try to just elevate my craft, and try to work enough so my books can stand on the shelf next to people I admire, the Remenders, the Aarons, the Hickmans. You know what I mean? It goes on. I want to stand in that gravitas, like, oh, he's not just a cool storyteller, he's a great writer. You know what I mean? I want people to sit back and think about how I thought about after I read the Thor, the God Butcher, how beautiful that was, or reading Eric Powell and seeing his progression from the early writing on to probably the third volume when he's writing about the ghoul. I forget his name, but the cowboy with the guns. I don't know, but yeah, it's a lot, man. I just love the whole process of writing and creating, man. I'll let y'all talk now. I'm out of here.
No. I want to say this, right? Do you remember when I came to your table? Do you remember me when I came to your table?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm actually surprised.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that come, but you was like, hey, how you doing, man? You was super nice, and you was like, Mom, Mom. I'm like, oh, I know, Mom. Yeah, I seen it. Like, okay, then it kind of clicked a little bit.
So
like, okay, yeah.
What you guys are seeing here from Jamal, that's what he's like at the convention. Right? He's very engaging. He's
that's
very, very talkative. He's really trying to, push his stories and his books out there, and it's a good thing. And the way how he presents it too is really nice. And that's what impressed me about Jamal when I met him that way. I'd seen him before, but I'm always like running around and trying to meet somebody. But I said, I'm going to make it time to go to his table this time and listen listen to his pitches and see what he's got. So that's what got me sold on Jamal, and that's one of the reasons why he's here.
Thank you, man.
Jamal is a car salesman.
That sounds weird.
So, the question for you, Jamal.
Yeah,
you do this full time?
Who, me, man? I wish that's my ultimate goal and dream. I'm living a sad life, having a real job and doing this. It's like, yeah.
But you know what? But at least you get to do this, right? Because you come home, you got something that's gonna that you can get into, and I think you're doing really good with this, and with what I see how you're interacting in the community. Right now, you're talking about. Well, before I get to that, I want to ask you this, right? What is your end goal into doing all these comics, creating these comics?
My end goal is I want to write for Marvel. Specifically, I want to write for DC because I love their characters so much. I mean, Marvel is cool, but I feel like DC has so much lore and so much, beautiful mythology that's already just ingrained in it. And I love that whole what I can possibly add to that. I love, writing my own story. But my end goal is to basically, just be as successful as a Jason Aaron or a Hickman, or any of the titans in our industry, but be just as cool as David Mack when I meet him at Comic-Con, or Kevin Garreau, or anybody, because they're just so cool. Like it's like they don't know how dope they are. It's like, do you know who you are? Type deal. And at the same time, also, to be an example to my community, because I'm from Compton, I'm from, Watts and LA and South Central. And, I think it's very important for, somebody like me to show, people that where I'm from, that they can be more than, a gang member, or, somebody who's a rapper, or, sell dope or play sports. You can be an artist, you can be a creator, you can be a writer, you can be a poet, you can be a painter, you can draw and paint murals. Like, it's so much, positive, beautiful things, God-given talent, that we have, but people don't know how to cultivate that. They don't know they have options to be successful with their, with their craft, with their hands, the things they can do and create using the left side of their brain, or right side or the back or the left, whoever. You know what I mean? It's I want to open up that person, that the possibilities. I want to let them know that they have options. A lot of times, most of the time, people where I'm from, they don't think they have options. A lot of times when they do something wrong, their excuse for it is, I ain't had no choice. It was me and him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I want to now we have a lot of choices. Before you even get there, you can do this, 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 and this. You know what I mean? So I want to kind of push kids, that way. And my success is only, makes my voice a little bit louder to where I can just, be the example, because ain't nobody gonna listen to no bum on the street. You can't give me no advice. A bum on the street can't give me no advice about how to, be a billionaire. So I have to, work hard and show and prove and be successful. Then, the jewels and the, the advice and the knowledge and the wisdom I, give to kids and give to people, it'll be that much more potent. Right. And so that's how I feel it, man. I just want to give back. I want to, I don't want to be I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be on TV. I don't want to, Instagram. I just want to sit in the room and write, honest to God. I just want to sit in the room and write.
Tell us more about your involvement with Tree Academy, and what is Tree Academy?
Oh yeah, man. Tree Academy is a dope school. It's a private school in West Hollywood. Man, I got involved by, just meet and greet, networking people. And a friend of mine that I work with, her mom works there and everything. So she seen that I write comics, and we became fast friends and everything. So she was like, hey, we have guest speakers all the time at the school. Would you like to be a guest speaker? I'm like, me?
Wow.
Really? Like, I'm like, why? She's like, no, you have a dope story. You know how you came from prison. Now you're writing, creating these comic books, and you've done so many great things, overcome so much. I think it'd be dope for these kids. I'm like, okay, cool. And so she had me with the presentation. We did like a little slideshow, and I came in there, and it was so dope to teach what I had learned, basically taught myself, you know, in prisons, basically, you know, because I wanted to learn how to write comics, but I didn't know how. So by writing, by reading books like Words and Pictures by Brian Michael Bendis, and it was what's another Writers on Comic Script Writing by Mark Salisbury. You know, that because I only had so many books I can, you know, they can send me. So I studied those books, and I studied the collection of comics that my relatives and friends would send me from the streets in prison. I studied those so much, and you know, I taught myself how to, you know, write comics. And so I got out and, you know, started doing my thing. And so I taught the school, and it was just dope how receptive those kids were. Because you're not the first person to tell me I got like a little personality and a little charisma. And for those kids, like it really like shone through as far as because afterwards, you know, the kids loved it for one, but the parents and the teachers like, man, this is crazy. Like all the other classes, the kids are in, they'd be bored, they'd be asleep, they'd be back talking, but they were engaged, they were raising their hand, they were enthusiastic, and they were all eager. They were like, when you gonna come back? And I'm like, well, that's dope. And that's the first time I spoke at that school. I think it was earlier in the year, probably like January-ish or something like that. I can't remember. It was been a blur. But then they invited me back for a summer class I taught. It was a 2-week summer class on how to write comic books. You know, basic structure. It was basic, you know, story structure. You know, 3 acts. You know, climax. You know, the actually I'm getting, you know, mixed up. But anyway, just teaching them that before I actually taught them the actual, you know, sequential art, how to write a comic book script. Whether you're an artist or you're a writer, it doesn't matter. It's all about thinking about and knowing a story in your head, developing that story, and then, you know, if you're a writer, writing it down, getting that script right, or if you're artist, you know, getting them images right, you know, and getting that story right. So a lot of times, you know, the translation from an artist to a writer is difficult. I explain like this, for example. I say like, okay, because I know a lot of artists. I have a ton of artist friends. Most of my friends that are in the industry, most of my friends, they're artists. They you know, illustrators, right? So I would tell them, like, when they try to write a story, imagine that's like me trying to draw but never erasing, right? And you hardline and everything. You send that first little initial draft, you like, this is what I'm gonna do, and how bad is that gonna look? That picture, and that's why I was explaining to them, like, look, you can't just have a story in your head and just write it out and just, oh, I didn't finish it. I just seen the images in my head and I just started writing. Like, no, don't do that. It might look cool, but your story's gonna be crap. You know what I mean? So it's about taking that time, getting that story, getting the whole ebb and flow, the conflict, you know, the climax, you know, and getting the resolution and getting all those things in hand and figuring it all out, you know, getting edited, and then you start the story, just teaching them that process, right? And teaching them how fun, engaging, and just you know, thinking of something cool, you know, and getting their, you know, stories from the life experience. You know, they don't have to necessarily make everything up. That's how I write my stories. I pull from something real that happened in my life. And that's why I told them, I said, all the best stories come from a place that's real, come from a place of truth and honesty. You know, come from something that happened that affected you, that you're trying to rationalize and explain in your head. And you can't really necessarily do that because either therapy's too expensive or you don't feel comfortable talking to yourself. And us as artists, we kind of, you know, out there anyway, as far as, you know, what we think about, you know, so it's kind of hard all the time. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's kind of hard to, especially an artist's mind, like our brains think different. So for us to have our emotions and talk it out, it's not easy. As far as, you know, I'm probably just speaking for myself, it's not the easiest. That's why we have our creative, you know, outlet, you know, to express ourselves, you know, and that's what it's for. You know, I think that's super, super invaluable for children when they really can't express themselves, like how adults would like them to sometimes, and how, you know, how much angst, you know, kids have going on in their life, you know. So I felt that, you know, giving them avenues, like I said, giving them options. You know, if you can't write, you know, that's okay. You can draw. If you can't draw, that's okay. You can write. You can write poetry. You don't have to be no long essay. You can write a couple words, you know, a couple of feelings. You can write one word that expresses how you feel, and that can be fucking shit, right? Like you can, but it kind of perfectly encapsulates. But it's all about just getting it out. Don't hold that shit in. Don't let it fester. You got to get it out, draw it out, write it out, sing it out, you know, dance it out. However artistically you can express yourself, and that's okay, and that's positive. And that's a beautiful thing, you know. So
Wow, the whole theme seems to be revolving around, it's not healthy to hold it in. No, you have to kind of express it in some way.
Well, I think that's the advantage of comics, and I've heard that from so many people, how it has helped them to kind of like escape from their own world a little bit, you know. And then, you know, as they grow, they learn, you know, to cope with their shortcomings or whatever it is, and then they're able to better participate in society and be more acceptable. Because that's basically what we want. We want to have that feeling that we belong, that we're part, and we're not by ourselves.
That's
Right,
super
because
true, man.
it's lonely to be by yourself, and when we've seen that in studies and in actual stories where a person is by themselves, they don't do very well. We need this interaction, and I think that's one of the mechanisms on like how we can do it. For me, I know that's how it's helped me. I had a hard time like making friends early on, and but comics allowed me to kind of overcome that in a way. But
Yeah, that's
um,
a powerful thing, because even for me, like I was around 14 when I got into comics.
yeah,
And I mean, first comics were like early GI Joe issues, but then it ended up being like Spider-Man, Tom McFarlane era, and it was an escapism for me. So it's fascinating to listen to you talk about your writing, your style, Jamal, like how
Yeah.
you kind of build everything out and how it's like calculated and planned, and you have like this world that you built. I've done the complete opposite with stories I write. um it's like I like the super fantastical of the superhero comics, right? I like the over the top storytelling, I like the escapism, I like I read comics to give me what, half hour, 45 minutes out of my world, right? Sitting in
Yeah.
my bedroom as a teenager, and I'm like, this kind of sucks as a teenager, as most teenagers kind of suck, right? I mean, you know
Yeah.
living in like lower middle income, Cleveland, Ohio is where I'm from. So it was just a whole different thing for me. And then for my writing style, it just was all off the cuff. Like I created Ice Pick, and it was just like a revenge filled 90s throwback superhero, like Batman inspired Spawn, Casey Jones. Like these
Yeah.
are kind of anti-heroes. Let me write my own anti-hero. He
Yeah.
got the hot chick, he got the villains, he had the superpowers. So and
Yeah.
and I just like I literally once I started, I wrote 4 issues like just so fast. It just like flowed, like
Yeah.
here's the bad guy, here's what's going on. And it was just, I pulled from personal experiences. So what I write, there's a lot of personal experience. It sounds like that's what for you too. Like there's
Yeah.
personal, there's you in your stories.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, man. I definitely appreciate that too. That's super true, man. And that's a lot of times how stories come too, man. They kind of come in a flood and a rush, and you're like, man, I gotta hurry up and write
Yeah.
this down, man. Let me hurry up and get it out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And those, I think those are the best stories too, because those are, I honestly, I mean, I sound crazy. I may sound crazy to some people. I've said it before, but honestly, God, I think like, I get my stories from, the ancestors, the spirits, they whisper in my ear. And I
Yeah.
just wait till they whisper and I just write that shit down. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I can't do it on command because that's not how it works. It just comes, right? And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of my stories, actually all my stories, they come from real places, real experience. Like Ebony, specifically the character, just about my loneliness, because she's a lonely figure, right? They call her Ebony Wildcat. Wildcats are they lone cats. They
Mm-hmm.
go in wilderness by themselves. They live a solitary life, and that's how she is. And that's how I felt being in prison. I felt like I was on this huge odyssey, but on a boat by myself, right? Going on this whole adventure by myself, right? And so that's how I felt her is, a fish out of water, being a kid in this whole big world as an oyster, but she's smart enough, she's cunning enough to defend herself, but yet and still she's a little girl. And so she's
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable in that way, right? And so I think is, and also the, Ebony the Golden Gun, specifically the Golden Gun being the only gun that works in the whole world, and how dangerous that is, and how it corrupts you as soon as, a person touches it. That's very real. I come from Watts, Compton, South Central. The violence that came with not just the lifestyle and the culture, but through guns specifically. And how dangerous and how horrible that tool is, but how damaging it can be for other people on both
Mm-hmm.
sides of the trigger. You know, uh, even the Godblade story, where Princess Kali goes on a quest to become queen. It's really about my desire when I was in prison to forge my own path to get away from the gang member lifestyle and do something different. I had a whole life during there. I had respect from that lifestyle. That's what allowed me to move on from it, as far as, my homies, thinking about why is you backing up, but still yet allowed me to forge my own path. And I took that idea and that concept and that, that ambition, I put it in Kali, Princess Kali, how she's going to take, a handful of her friends and take this blade, that was owned by my ancestors, and I'm going to take it on, forge my own power and become queen. Not just do right, but do conquest, and owning that power, and even like my power, like in my stories, my world, after the new world, the guys take over, it's a matriarchal, I don't even think I said it right. Matriarchal society, a society ruled by women. There are no kings allowed. You can be a prince, but only right. A queen and a prince.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because I took that off of, reading the R.A. Salvatore books and the Drizzt, back in the day. I'm like, why?
Oh, I love that.
Why is it matriarchal society? Why is that bad? Like, I was raised by women. Women are strong, they can capable. A lot of things they can't do to raise a man, but a lot of things they can do to raise a good person.
Right.
And a great person. Right?
And that's what matters, is just being a good person.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I think that's what Todd said on the last show, that he learns from his wife.
Yeah.
His wife.
Way too much.
Don't be an asshole. That's all it is.
That's what she said.
You don't have to be kind, like a saint. Blah blah. It's simple. Just don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
Mog tells me that every day.
I'm with you now. I'm with you. It's 26 years she's been telling me that, and I'm just like, one day.
You smell very similar to my man here.
yeah, one day.
Oh, the real. Yeah, that's what it's about, though, man. It's just, just beautiful storytelling, man. Like, I'm just admiring you too, because I can't draw word for lick, but I enjoy the process so much. Like, I can do a mean stick figure. Right,
hey,
but
that's all that matters.
Yeah, right. Like, I'm an artist with my words. Yeah, but I enjoy the.
I'm self-taught.
Yeah,
I never went to school. I mean, later in life, but I was already drawing. Like, I would literally buy Image comics and draw. Like, I would draw what I see. Right.
Yeah,
it was terrible, and in my early ice pick, I was in high school, and I just drew it on like regular high school paper. I'd cut it down to comic book size and draw a color pencil. It looked awful, but self-taught. I mean, it can happen. Just
work.
And nowadays there's so many tools to learn, right? There's so many avenues that if you want to be an artist, whatever media, like I can't watercolor to save my life. I tried to do watercolors. I'm terrible at it. I stick to pen and ink.
Yeah, I seen a special on watercolors. I forget who the guy was. It was talking about some book he did, but he said, "Well, watercolors, you have to keep the light source. You got to paint around it. You can't, paint over and add it to it. So you have to always keep it there and like not." And so I'm like, "Ooh, that's not easy."
I tried in high school. I gave up.
Away from the light.
Yeah, right.
Away from the light.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at what everybody's got so far. Todd, we're still looking for an opening bid on Todd's piece there for $60 on his rogue.
Oh man!
Looky, that's pretty sweet right there, guys.
Wow,
$60. That's
she's coming along. I love 90s rogue. Like Jim Lee Rogue is my favorite. She's my favorite.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, $60 is what we're looking for on there. Okay, now let's look at the sheep.
Yeah.
Okay,
man,
let's see.
That's crazy. As soon as she start putting the red in, I'm like, yeah, it's going down. It's going down.
Oh, wait, let me get the.
Look at that.
Sorry. Okay, I'm still getting used to this camera. There we go.
People may not understand what that color is about there, but you will later on.
I mean, that's pretty obvious. It's like,
yeah, right. I'm thinking like, okay, now is that
I don't
sheep
know.
like that in the show? Like, this is crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just peeled off.
It looks too happy so far, so I'll just work on that expression.
I don't know about that.
It looks happy.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, and then we'll look at we never really got to Mog, but Mog is working on a Nightcrawler.
Okay.
Ooh.
I see.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a different Nightcrawler.
I want him to be like buffy, like buffed up.
Buffed up.
Not the scrawny, sad, depressed looking this is a guy who, you know, was maybe, you know, just went away for a long time, isolation or whatever. And during that time, he just became super strong and then came back.
Physically strong. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Gotcha.
Just like more of a darker version, Nightcrawler. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
He started
All
doing
right, so
CrossFit.
looking for a bit of
CrossFit.
$200 on that. And then some Rook Piece was asking about this Batgirl that Mon has been working on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, and that's a piece that Amag is working on to bring to the shows that are coming up, like LA Comic Con. Are you going to be there, Jamal?
Yes, I will. Age 30. Table age 30, man. Catching out your boy with 2 thumbs. This
There
guy
you
right
go,
here.
There you go. Age 30, everybody that's going to be there.
What's up? You going there? You going to be there, man?
Yeah, we'll be there. They pushed us way in the back, but that's okay. But yeah, so I forgot what our table number is. I think it's like Q44 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be there. We got a bunch of friends that are going there, so we'll definitely come by and see you, Jamal, along with everybody else that's there. Probably bring some of our friends and introduce them to you as well.
Yeah,
so
please do.
That is something that we're going to be looking forward to.
Is that LA? You said LA Comic Con?
Yeah, LA Comic Con, which is in about 2 weeks from now.
What's up, man? You coming through too?
No, I'm up in Seattle, so that'd be a flight for me. I'd have to fly down there, but
a little bit of a flight and a walk. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put that on my radar if everyone's gonna be down there. I mean,
definitely worth checking out. Yeah.
I'm like someday. Sorry.
How about you, Becca? You gonna make it through?
Someday. I want to go
to Canada, huh?
Yeah. I'm just outside of Toronto.
Just outside of LA. Just outside of LA.
Yeah. How far from LA are you? Or
I'm in Compton, so right in the midst of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Compton right now. Matter of fact, I did make it because my first out of town show was Buffalo, New York.
Wow.
Yeah, my artist.
That's a travel.
Yeah, a little bit. It was dope though, man. My boy Lucas Cobell, who did the art right here, did Ebony. Right here in the LA and everything.
Nice.
It's my wraparound cover I have with this right here. Shameless promo. Yeah, right. It's
promo away.
Yeah, right.
That's all we got, man.
Yeah, right.
Awesome.
And he's also thank you. And he's also the artist on another Ebony story I got. He's gonna start in a couple weeks. But yeah, I went there this couple months ago. The Buffalo, New York is dope. Niagara Falls specifically. It's Niagara Falls Comic Con. It was super dope. Yeah, man. Look, you know, I had like 3 or 4 chicken strips, super large chicken strips, right? And a big old thing of fries for $10.
What?
Yeah, in LA, this is unheard of, right? I'm just letting you know that's a miracle. In LA, that thing cost about $25. Right. You still won't get a drink.
Oh, it's the same thing up in Seattle. It's not.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's why I was so amazed at Buffalo. I got that whole thing and a drink for $10. I'm like, oh, they didn't charge me the wrong thing for this. Let me hurry up. But that's what it was. Yeah, but it was good though. It was great people.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Becca.
Oh, sorry. I'm just saying, like, LA and Seattle are on my places to go list.
Yeah, Seattle's dope. I agree. Mel and Mog were there last. Was it March? We were up there. And they were literally across from me, and it took me a hot minute to realize that they were across from me. Because you know, when you do a show, you're kind of like for me, like I'll work on sketch covers while I'm at a show, right? You're focused on people and so much in that show. Oh man, there was like 90,000 people there that weekend.
Oh,
it's just like it's huge. Such a big show. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So I can recommend Seattle.
All right.
Yeah,
if you can get in.
Yeah, that's Emerald City that you're talking about, and
that's usually in March.
For artists, it's a good show to do because it is very art centric. Like this past year, one of the main comics that we kept hearing about the show is that Artist Alley was busier than the exhibitor room.
That's good. That's really good.
So and those are the kind of shows. Of course, that's the kind of shows we look for. New York is like that as well. Baltimore, and so is Heroes Con.
Yeah,
If
I've
you
heard
want to look
Baltimore's
for
really
shows to
good.
do that are very more art centric, those are the ones to be.
Yeah.
I really like Heroes because I think they're more art centric than all the others.
Okay, I've heard a lot about Heroes.
Yeah,
Lots of good
same.
things.
I think New York is the closest to. I think New York is very art centric.
Yeah, that's why I said it is. But I'm saying I think Heroes is more. They've got more events, good events, large events that favor the artists. So I think for that reason it's a good thing, right? But
Yeah.
it's nice to see that the shows are picking up on that as well.
Yeah.
Because like Fan Expo, like you've experienced, Becca has Comic Explosion, which is it's an event they started like almost like 3 years ago now, and that event is just like taking off.
It is.
That's good.
Exploded in popularity, which is great for artists too, right? And then the people like the congoers are loving it. The Toronto Fan Expo, like there were people who I know I was pitching the event to last year, and they're like, "Oh, we'll check it out." They didn't check it out, but this year they did because the word of mouth just spread about it.
Exactly. That's basically it. Is the word of mouth, right?
Yeah.
Because when they did this the first year, it was like maybe a couple like handfuls, right? And I told Marg at that time, this is something that she needs to get involved in because I told her I could see this event like taking off.
Yeah.
That's exactly what is happening now, and it is. A lot of artists were kind of like skeptical to participate because it's that fear of performing in public.
Oh, yeah. Performance anxiety. That's a real thing, man.
That's a real thing.
And there's a lot of artists that just can't do it, even no matter how good they are. They don't want to do it. There's that fear, even though they're famous, they're popular. They just can't. And I've seen guys come in where they're not used to it and they bomb. Okay?
I think, but
it didn't let them stop them. They came back.
Yeah, that's the
and
one.
They got better at it.
They don't give up.
Yeah, just don't give up.
And the thing is, there is kind of a handicap. I think it's not fair. I would like to hear your thoughts on that, Becca.
Okay.
The comic explosion. If you are not you're talking about comic explosion, right?
Yeah.
I think if you're not a painter, you're basically a draftsman. Like you draw a lot, but you don't paint. I think it's a bit of a handicap.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, what do you think?
I don't know what the thought process is for like how the artists are selected. Like for me, I just aggressively volunteered because I love painting. To the annoyance of Kevin. Hi, Kevin, if you're watching. Kevin's a great guy. I don't know. I think I was under the impression that they try to pick artists who are painters, but they also want to pick big names for a draw, right? Just because it's such a at the time it was an experimental event, right? And on their promotional material, do you want to have the big names like, oh, this is who's going to be there, and you want all the check all the right boxes for the concourse to show up, right? But I don't know, like what the
in the beginning. That's what Kevin was trying to do, but he was having a hard time filling the spots. That it got to the point that he was kind of like begging people to get in there, right? But now I don't think it's that much of an issue because I have people that are coming to me and they're asking me, Mel, I want to get in that comic explosion. What do I got to do?
Yeah.
Just go talk to Kevin. Why are you talking to me?
Like, honestly, just talk to Kevin, like, and be nice about it too. Like, obviously, like he does so much, and the Fan Expo team do so much for our artists in the Artist Alley. And I gotta say, for both Calgary and the Toronto Fan Expo, I almost didn't make it into Comic Explosion. I was just like, hey, if anyone cancels, just
wow, really?
Please, right here.
Yeah. So
but now, there's I don't think it's going to be like too much of a problem getting to fill the spots that Kevin has.
No.
In fact, the last time I talked to him about it, they're thinking about expanding it.
Yeah, that would be good because it is getting popular and a lot of people want to do it. A lot of artists want to do it.
And then they're thinking about maybe having like one round during regular hours, so that way
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that way, because some people, they're concerned about going out and eat after. They're hungry.
They want to sleep. It's like 11 p.m. It's like, how long is this? Like,
right,
oh, man.
right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we deal with it staying out that late because it's like you don't finish. If you're in that second round, you're not going to finish until like 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you get back, you're so pooped, and then you got to get up early, to get into the show again. So
yeah,
it does take a toll on you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, man, it is, for me, it's a lot of fun. And out of all the events that we go to at the cons, that is the best one that I like going to, seeing all that. Because not only are you watching the art being developed by the artists, but it's a great place to kind of smooch and snooze and talk to everybody else there, right? And you're all just talking about art,
yeah,
and talking about projects and stuff like that. So it's a good time for us to have that moment, because during regular con hours there isn't that moment. It's hard to go around and talk to people about what you want to talk about, or if you're trying to like cut a deal or something, or figure something out. We don't have that time. But there at the venue, there is time, and we can do that, and we're there.
Yeah, for me, I feel like, what it feels like is like you're going into this battlefield and you have five comrades next to you, and you don't know their name, you know nothing about them, and you just go in, and
it's
you
like a
all
shootout.
have to get through it and fight and then come and survive. And the relief you feel at the end, and then you just look at each other, it's like, hey, brother. And then the next
super
one,
true.
I don't know why. And it doesn't hit you, but the second time you, like, say 5 months later, you meet that guy in the trench again, and you're like, oh my God, my brother.
Yeah.
Bro, how have you been? It's like this weird, like, attachment that you develop. Like, we went through this together. You and I'm so happy I see you, like a familiar. It's like you're my comfort blanket. It's like, I can do this now. I feel stronger. Like, I don't know. It's just a weird feeling, but it's like that.
You know what? Accurate.
So true. Yeah, so true.
Feel it, right?
Yeah, before excuse me, my bad. Before I got my own table, I went to LA Comic Con. It was my first ever con. Not last year, but the year before that. It was super cool, and all my friends I was meeting there, and people that I knew that was already writing. I hadn't come out or anything. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get my table eventually. Like, man, look, enjoy this right now. I said, what? Just walking around, being a nerd, having fun, seeing stuff. Enjoy this. Once you have a table, this is over with.
It's over.
Oh yes.
This is over. Yes. Like, you go like it to this table, and every time you leave, all you're gonna do is come back. You gonna have anxiety when you leave the table. I'm like, wait, like what you? But that's super true. It's like I was loving having a table. I'm like, oh, I finally got a table. Now it's like, oh, I'm missing all this. What's the name? Who's here? Oh, and as soon as I leave, somebody comes to my table that was looking for me. That's important, and I gotta leave. And what happened? Oh, he was just here. You got just missed him. Who just missed who? Why you didn't give him? Why you didn't call me? It's a whole thing.
Oh, it's crazy. I will. My wife is kind enough. I mean, she's phenomenal. She supports me, very much like Mel, right? She's like, look, you want to do a show, do a show. I only do a handful of shows a year, but or I only apply. You only get into like a handful of shows, right? But there's one south of Seattle that we would do, and Jim Lee was there one year, and I'm like, honey, I'm sorry. Look, I gotta do this. I gotta go. Like,
gotta stay alive
now.
Yeah.
So I bought the because you had to buy, or you had to go get in line, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna be. So I left like 2 hours of the booth, and she was awesome. She's always at the show. Like, she knows how to. She's a good salesman in a way. Like, she knows all the stuff to help people. I mean, she has sold original art when I'm not at the booth. I'm like, I'm just gonna stay gone.
Yeah, right. If it goes work like this. Yeah.
But
wow.
It's the same thing.
You're lucky. Todd, you're lucky. Is your wife's name Mel as well?
No, but it is a 3-letter word, Amy.
Amy. Oh, okay.
So close. Yeah, it's close.
Yeah, A-M-Y. I mean, it's almost like cousins.
Yeah. I feel it, man. The
Yeah.
whole table thing, and you got your comrades next to you, because it's all that moment when you before people start coming in and everything's set up, and you look at your neighbor to the left, and you be like, you ready for this? And you look at neighbor to the right, and you be like, are you ready? You say, yeah, because everybody, we're I don't know about you, but like I'm kind of like, as an artist, I'm kind of like not antisocial, but I'm kind of just, you can't probably tell.
We're introverts.
Yeah, right.
Introverts.
It's like I'm an extrovert just because this is my occupation right now. I have to talk to people, otherwise I'm not gonna sell nothing. You know what I mean? I can't just walk by people and just have a meme mug like, what? Buy something. It's not gonna work. So it's just the engaging. But at the end of it, when you just like, oh shit, that was crazy. And you're looking at them and they like, man, I'm exhausted. Like, I don't. But it's like, it's that sense of accomplishment, because we live in our dream. For one, we talking about what we love. For two, then we got, I'm not doing this by myself. Because when you're creating, when you in that little room by yourself, it's like, what the fuck am I doing? Am I wasting my time? Like, I get a real job? Like, what am I doing? Like, is it really worth it? I made a little bit of money, but you know, I really want to be rich. But I'm not doing this for money, but it will be nice.
But
right?
we are.
Yeah, right. Like,
I have to listen. I have to listen to you guys to have that kind of enthusiasm, because I mean, I still have it, just not like you guys. But it's always amazing to me, like when somebody goes around with me and we're walking around, you know, and I'll say hi to like Rob Liefeld or Danny Wiki and these guys, right? And then I'll introduce my friend to them, and you know, and it's usually like another artist, and they're just going, "Wow, you know these guys?" Yeah, well, yeah. How long have you known them? I don't know, 40 years, 40, 50 years. I don't know, 50 years with some of them. So because of that stage of like where I'm at, that I don't have that kind of excitement, but I do have the pleasure of knowing those guys for a while, and saying, yeah, you know, I know them. Am I close with them? With some of them, yes. With others, no. Yeah, but we do know each other, and but you know, it is fun to go around and talk to everybody and introduce them to so forth and who we are. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the amazing things, man. I that's one of my favorite things too, about just going to cons, man, and meeting all these dope ass people that, wait, you're who? Like meeting Kevin Graveau and having him squeeze your hand off. Like, you know what I mean? And or meeting, like I said, David Mack, and seeing how freaking nice he is. You know what I mean? It's almost like, dude, you can be a little asshole. You can be an asshole because you earned it. Like, you can be an asshole. But he's like, no,
but they're not.
It's all right. Yeah, right? It is like how.
What is this? It's been 26 years I've been going to conventions, 25 years. Like, not as an artist, but like as a fan, I went for a long time until about, I think, 2016, 17, when I started doing my own comic. I started tabling at shows, but I've never met like an artist that was a jerk. Like, just have never met someone. And we met a ton of people in 25 years. Like, even my wife, like, Rob Liefeld, he gets a lot of crap, but like the dude was always cool to us. I met him like 3-4 times. Really nice guy.
Yeah, right.
Todd McFarlane's an awesome human. Like, he's just a really cool, down to earth. Jim Lee. Never met Will Patasio, I think, if that's how you say his name. But like these image guys have always been really cool, you know, and artists in general, writers, like people at shows, they're just cool people, you know. They're like really cool people,
man.
Yeah.
I don't want to burst anybody's bubble, okay? But all those guys are cool, okay? everybody has their moments, okay?
Sure.
Everybody has their moments. Something, you know, you cross the line on something, and you'll see another side of them.
I agree.
I know. Yeah, they still people.
That's happened. But yeah, I mean, I just want to say, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that they're very nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Just don't piss them off. Because they will get pissed off back at you.
Yep.
Well, we're all
and then
human,
you'll see another
right?
side of them.
I mean, we all have a breaking point, I think. But it's just refreshing that like I get to work with a community that is like me, right? Down to earth, humble people. They're not super arrogant. I mean, like I said, some of the biggest names in the business are just, hey, I'll shake your hand, I'll sign your book, I will I'll even sit there and give you time of my day that I charge hundreds of dollars for to talk to you and talk to a fan. And that's why for
Dude.
me, like I return that, right? It's always that pay it forward attitude. It's where to show I'm gonna spend as much time with you as you want me to, right? If it's an hour or two, I don't care, like all day. I will sit and talk with you as long as I need to, whether you buy something or not, because like that's how I've been treated. So I want to treat people that way, you know.
Yeah.
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 That's
My
super true,
thing
man.
is this, right? I mean, you hear some of the bad things about this, some of the artists, okay, out there. But my thing is this, right? That relationship or what caused you to have that kind of judgment or
Hmm.
relationship with a person, that's your own, okay?
Yeah.
My relationship with that person is different, right? Or can be different because my experience with that person is different.
Yep.
So I'm not going to carry your judgment in place of mine. I'm going to have my
Yeah.
own, right? And so, yeah, that's basically it. So I don't,
Based off like our own experiences, right?
yeah,
You know, like it's based off your experience and how
right,
you approach that person.
yeah, yeah. Because I
So
don't know
yeah,
if you did something to piss them off, right?
yeah.
Or if
It
that's
could be
on
bad.
you, you know.
Yeah. Your
Exactly.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
So
just dope when you meet your heroes, man, and they just cool as shit. Like I remember the first
Agreed.
time me meeting Jason Aaron, man. Not I got
uh-huh.
a couple stories actually, but just seeing him because I admire him, his writing style
Yeah,
so much. Like, like it's just like God Blade is like me trying to do a Jason Aaron impression. Like as far as how he uses narration and exposition to, help, push a story and it's like almost like poetry how he does. I try to kind of do that, emulate that style in God Blade. And I just admire him so much, just him as just a dope craftsman. Right. And so I
hmm,
finally wait to his table, go up to meet him. And I got my own personal books that I want to sign because I ain't,
Hmm.
I'm a real fan. And it's just I was like, man, I really, appreciate you as an artist, man, as a writer, and how the same thing. And he started talking, and I didn't hear nothing he said. I just seen his lips move. I'm like, oh, in my brain, I'm thinking like, oh shit, Jason Aaron is talking to me. And he's so cool, but I didn't hear nothing, like nothing he said registered. So I walked away like, oh, I don't remember nothing he just told me right now.
But
Like
he
I
was
just said,
cool.
he was cool though.
Right.
Which goes to the other anecdote, if anything, people always remember the way they make you feel, or something Maya Angelou said to that
yeah,
effect,
Hmm.
right? If people
Hmm.
remember nothing else, they always remember the way you made them feel. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's what's
hmm,
super important. All the great, even Kevin Gavot, he's that deep voice and how are you doing and everything. Squeeze your hand off, but he's super cool. He's
Hmm.
laughing. You know what I mean? It's like this dude's fucking like you don't know who you are, like you
yeah,
know what I mean? Or
yeah,
you're Tim Sheridan, or Jeremy Clark. You know what I mean? Two
oh yeah,
dope ass writers that just really like you said, man, really just sat there and just took time to talk to me and give me wisdom and knowledge of how because I told him like I'm a writer, I'm doing this, I'm doing. Then I gave him a couple of my books. They're like, oh man, this is dope. And, this and this and that. Gave me advice. And the next time I said, like, oh, I read your book, man. I always tell him like I'm gonna be writing for DC, man. I'm gonna be your colleague one day. Like, man, I believe you because you persistent. I'm like, yeah, like I'm and just being able to be in a position to where I can work on my craft so much that I can call those, them people my peers.
Hmm.
That's what drives me. You know what I mean? To stand next to the people that I admire so much and be like, and have somebody say like, you're just as good as they are. It's like, wow, really? But I know I have to work towards that. It's not this is talent only take me so far, man. It's getting down and working. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I
Yeah.
So
was going to ask you, Jamal, who would you write for DC? Like, what
Who
character would you want to write?
I like dark and horror stuff, so I want to write,
Okay.
I know they probably give me somebody off the bat, but I want to write like a Spectre story, like Justice League Dark.
Oh, okay.
You know what I
Ooh.
mean? Because because it's so much that could be mined there as far as just, not just Constantine, because there's a whole bunch of other different characters that are coming, but specifically, I have a Spectre story in my head that I want to get
Hmm.
out and just have him because he's so much of an interesting character and the way he can go in and out and discover other little characters in the dark DC universe is just amazing. But I want to do something like that. I want to try to introduce like new characters as well, not just blatantly, but just organically and make it fun. Like I can as I go and expound because right now, okay, for example, my dark ones and all that, and that's more of a fantasy. horror type, but more fantasy, but I love the horror genre. Like right now I have a Kickstarter going on. That I'm a part of with Atiba Royster. It's called Horrorgasm. It's an anthology of vampire stories, and that was one of my
Okay.
first little thank you. That was my first little not my first little get up, my first little story that I tried to probably like my third story. I tried to get into like the little horror genre. Zombies versus zombies versus vampires. That's the crux of it,
Yeah.
right? And I also put in because it's like Frankenstein. I mean, because it's like vampire. So I put my own little version of Frankenstein in it too. Because I basically put like if you can imagine, when the colonists came over, they didn't just bring slaves. They brought the plague of being a vampire. So I have that the Demeter selling over and Dracula coming affecting the United States, and it's a big old war between vampires and everything, and the Native Americans and the blacks and then the whites that's there, they're trying to fight against each other, but it's ebb and flow in that war. But to break the tie, so to speak, the African, this African American man named Mr. Frank, he uses voodoo and he chops up all African slaves and stitches them together, and he creates his own version of Frankenstein, to fight against the vampires,
See,
but
that's
just
interesting because like I got vampires and fairies in my book too, and
yeah,
like it's a little different. And I opened this up for like issue 2, which I as well started getting into more horror reading. Like each one of my stories. So and Luke is like my third story, and it's kind of a trilogy of 4-issue miniseries. So like
yeah,
issue 1, like the first 4 issues of Ice Pick actually introduced the world, right? The second part is Annabelle, and that's focused on her. Third part is Luke, and it focuses on him. So like each 4 issues focuses on a new character, tells a new part of the story. But
yeah,
I explain like all the supernatural creatures were created at the beginning of time, like with the earth and humanity and all that stuff, right? So
yeah,
whoever created that, like that entity created everything at once. And it was like, hey, vampires are the scum. They ended up becoming the scum of all the magical creatures. So
yeah.
like they would feed off like human blood, which they weren't supposed to, and that twisted the vampires into being the savage vampires that they are.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Wait. So where can we get your book? Yeah.
I got issue 2 is a pre-launch right now. Issue 2,
which is
Luke issue
yeah
2, and you can get issue 1 on
yeah.
once I launch issue 2, which
We
is coming
we
out
just
next month.
posted the link for it on there, so if you guys look, you'll see it on there.
Wait, but
Yeah.
weren't you the one who said, Todd, that you don't really do world building, you just jump into it? You're more like character. It sounds like to me you're more character based.
Yeah.
Character driven.
But
Yeah,
this sounds like you have a kind of a system built pretty well before you jumped in.
no, no, that's all for Cade. Like
You say no.
I don't
You
do
say no.
no,
Just winged
I
it.
just write.
Yeah,
Like
right.
I literally sit down and I'm like, to be fair, like I do write an outline for the 4 issues, and I didn't really have anything in place when I started Ice Pick. It was like, dude, this is '90s superhero revenge. He gets his powers by like a medical accident. Like I mean, that's very very like everything was cliche. Like I went into those tropes and hard and doubled down and said no, like this is how it is. Bad guys are the mob, right? And I brought
Yeah.
in issue 3 4, I started bringing in the supernatural, right? It was like, oh, demons were behind all this, and I'm like, okay. And then I brought in Michael was the savior. There's a little bit of religious undertone, but it's not in your face overtly. It's just those characters are there. There's supernatural characters in my world. And then when I was done with that, I'm like, what's next? Like you, Jamal, like you have all these ideas and like you built all these stories and all this world building. For me, it was like, well, what's next? I don't know. Like, oh, let me tell the story of her. Like, oh, that's cool. And it was like, okay, so what would make a good protagonist, right? And I love dragons. So I was like, cool, let me bring in dragons. They're supernatural. And I build stories around the bad guys first. It's kind of weird. Like, I like I like the supernatural creatures, and in my world, most of them are all bad. So far, all of them have been bad, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's the bad guy. Boom. How do I build a story around that? And then same thing with I love fairies, vampires, more supernatural. The one dude goes to Salem, Massachusetts because he finds out his parents are witches. And so he's like a magical person, right? Because he's he's a descendant of a witch, of witches.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, well, let's go to Salem, because isn't that like the capital of witches and all the craziness that happened here in America? So he's like the comedic relief. So he's kind of stupid about it. And he's just like, yeah, let me go to Salem, hooks up with a fairy, doesn't know she's a fairy. And she kind of like, the vampires are hunting him this whole 4 issues. They're trying to like get him and like make him kind of their blood slave in a way. You know how like vampires
Mm-hmm.
will keep people alive to suck the blood out of them. That's what
Yeah.
they're trying to do. And the fairies are the protectors. So like they are the badass people in my story. Like they kill vampires. The fairies
Hell
kill the
yeah.
vampires, which is
Oh,
pretty
okay.
fun. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
it's in
Okay.
pre-launch. I
But
think I'm launching
does
next
that
month.
make the fairies good then, or
Yeah,
bad
because
because they're killing the vampires?
when all the supernatural creatures were created, let's say, they were the ones that were like respectful of the natural order. They were like, no, we are only really allowed to drink other magical blood. Like that's where we get our life essence, is from the magic
Oh,
blood of other
interesting.
people. And so
Interesting. Okay.
when humans were created in my story, right, it was like, no, hands off the humans. Like you don't drink their blood. You protect them.
Mm-hmm.
And since Luke is like a magical character, the vampires want to drink his blood, and the fairies are like, nah, no, we can't do that. Like we have to kind of like protect him and keep him away, because he'll be end up like some slave to them. So it's like, yeah, it's a little deep. Like some of my storytelling does go a little deeper, but a lot of it is more just off the cuff. Like what makes a good villain? Let me build a fun story around this villain, and I just roll with it.
Yeah. That's
What
what it's
happens
about,
if-
man. Having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happens if the vampire drinks the fairy?
I was just
Does
about
it
to
get
ask that.
It does help them like sustain life, and that's how like a lot of magical creatures have like eternal life, because they keep drinking magical blood. And but for all the other characters except the vampires, like all the other magical creatures, the vampires basically kind of became that glutton, right? They kept doing it more and more and more and more, and it twisted them. Because it's like, think about like if your ration is like 1 portion, but then you have 10 portions, right? it, it,
Mm-hmm.
it twists you. And it's almost like gluttony in life. Like if you eat healthy, we're supposed to kind of like diet, exercise, right, eat healthy and maintain our weight type of thing. And but if you just are a glutton, for you keep eating more and more and more, you're going to get heavier, right? You're going to gain weight, and it's going to become unhealthy. And there is a little bit of subtext in there, but the vampires just, they overdid it, right? They kept doing more and more than what was needed. So they just became like savage and twisted. And yeah, you know,
That's dope. That's dope.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the whole like fantasy horror, like because it's so much like, and what taught me how to do that is freaking Walking Dead, man. Even
Oh,
though it didn't,
that's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
even though it didn't necessarily have a fantasy element, it was
Yeah.
the how to do horror well, right?
Yeah.
And for me, it was is I would like to do a long form. What I mean by long form is I feel to do horror justice, a good horror story, you got to have at least 2 maybe issues. You can do it in 1 issue and do it
Mhm.
well, but it's that build up, that tension,
Yes.
and that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what horror is. It's the
Mhm.
okay, the Crooked Man, Mike Mignola. That's a good one,
Mhm.
right? That's just a creepy ass story, and it's like it's action and builds up in the end, but it's just like when I read that story, like this is just creepy as shit. Like how the way he set, but that's Mike Mignola. He knows what he's doing as far as horror, but it's not right. And it's not. It's what horror is more of tone than
Yeah.
actual content. It's the pacing, where it's more
Yep.
slow, it's more beat down, things
Yep.
like that. You know what I mean? Then it's the payoff. It's that climax and near the end, but it's like, oh, you gotta get there. It's that build up that
Right.
gives it its potency. With horror,
And that's what I did in
Yeah.
Luke. Like there's build up. There's
Yeah.
you know, you set the stage, you kind of you know, and I'm a fan of like film and television and just general media, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, when I was like, okay, after I'm done with Annabelle and we have this dragon story, okay, and then then I knew like at that point when I started building her story, I was like, I'm gonna do a trilogy. I'm gonna do the main character. So there's only really three main characters in all of my stories. And after I'm done with Luke, you know, I have other stories that I plan on telling, but it was like, okay, now I want to do horror. I want to do
Yeah.
supernatural horror. I want to do something kind of fun, right? But not kid fun in a way, like because it's supernatural characters, but I want to what makes good horror? Alien,
Yeah.
you know, what makes or even some of the Blumhouse movies, man. Those movies
Yeah.
for recent movies, like they're really good. Or even like Eggers, like when he did some of the movies that Eggers does, they're very slow pacing, and that there's
But
that
it's
payoff.
purposeful. Exactly. It's purposeful. It's the build up. It's the what the
Yeah,
fuck? What's going on? That's
yeah,
creepy. This is weird. What's
yeah.
happening? Then it's the oh shit. Like, you know, it's the
And
getting
that's what I
there with
try to do.
that's
Like
the
you set the
yeah.
stage, you introduce the villain, you know your heroes or heroines, right? You know the good guys, you know the bad guys. And then like issue 2, you introduce another element, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
you see some horror throughout, right? You're seeing some blood and gore. And it's a black and white. Like I have an artist
Yeah.
down in South America, and he just does beautiful black and white artwork. I'm like, I can't even touch this with color. Like I just can't. Like it
No
looks too
reason. It's
good.
like that sometimes. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
I ain't gonna
So
ruin it with color, man. Just leave it like how it is.
and you just introduce something, a little bit of horror in between, you do some storytelling, and
Mm-hmm.
then that issue 3 and 4 is going to be the payoff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the beauty. That's craftsmanship, man. That's one of the things I've learned, like as a writer. Like, for example, like I love like Downton Abbey. I love a lot of masterpiece theater on PBS because
Yeah.
especially like the genre of, you know, that trauma, you know, genre, specifically like almost soapy, because and it's not soapy, but it teaches you what I learned from it is how to write an interesting story without no action. How
Really?
to write, yeah, Downton Abbey. It's nobody getting shot, no
Okay, my
car
wife watched
chases.
that. I've never seen that.
Yeah, right.
I
No,
mean,
that's
she
what I'm saying.
watched it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no action in it. It's very little action. It's drama, it's intrigue, it's a thriller, it's suspense, but it's no action. I'm like, dang, how is this interesting? How is this show this good? And I ain't seen one person get punched. I ain't seen a car chase. I ain't seen nobody get shot. They barely raise their voice. You know what I mean? So how is this? But it's the plot. It's the how you moving things along. It's character development. It's interesting
Mm-hmm.
stories and
Mm-hmm.
subplots. Like all these things come together back and forth, and that's like it's a beautiful poetry, especially in the tone he strikes as well. Right? It's like all these things. I just try to just learn techniques as far as just if I can't have a
Yeah.
lot of action, like how do I build this up to where it's no action, but it's suspense and it's engaging characters? Can I emulate
Yeah.
that? And then how can I translate that into the comic book format? You know, even
Yeah.
with my latest, because my latest books, I see like how to get readers early on is I think about how I read comic books or how I choose comic books. I go into a store, I pick it up, and I flip through it. If the art looks cool, if the cover looks cool, I'm gonna pick it up. If I flip
Mm-hmm.
through it and the art looks cool and I read the bag and I see, oh, I'm gonna buy this. But that's how, and it's a quick thing. So me learning about how I do it, like, okay, people are gonna see what they're doing, look through it and see, okay, the art is cool and pick it up. Okay, fine. And put it down and start reading. But I want you to don't just read it and enjoy it. I want you to have a story to be so engaging. I want you to buy that next one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's half the battle. Half the battle is the artist and them seeing and buying it.
Yeah.
The other half of that battle is the next time they see you, they want to buy another one because they enjoyed
Right.
reading the last one. Right.
Yeah.
And so I've been
I
trying
agree.
to, yeah. So I've been trying to get, you know, it's even as far, even like with these new stories I wrote, like I even got a crossover coming out with me. One of my characters is more of a superhero inspired. It's a superhero genre. My character is a character by Ray Anthony Hyde called Midnight Tiger, and a character by Marcus Newsom called Lightning Strike. And I wrote a story with all those characters, all our characters basically together, right? And, but I was conscious of how it would be, you know, flow visually. right? So I made sure my page turns were, they were splashes. I made sure and I studied Marcus, because that was gonna be my art. So I know, like, I had to study, like, okay, what things does he like to draw? He likes to draw real big and extravagantly. Because I learned how to, even though I can't draw, I study art and artists. Like, I study art in college, so I'm hip to perspective, vanishing points, proportions. I watch and see people, like, especially when I look for artists, I see like how good they draw the background, how good they draw hands and feet, how good they draw, like certain little things. This is the fundamental things I look for. Because if you can do fundamentals well, then everything else will just flow right. You know what I mean? But I look for certain, as far as just how I look at it, it's like, it's just, you can do these certain things, and I can look for techniques, and everything looks aesthetically pleasing, and you just kind of rip, like, okay, you got good bones. And as long as you got good bones for the artists, I can work with. That's how I hired my first few artists. Just seeing, and okay, you can do the basics right and everything, and then your style is, I love it, but I don't want. Sometimes artists can cheat in a way if they're not good at certain things. If you know what I mean. So, and I don't want to.
You're right.
Yeah, and I don't want to find out that you were cheating the whole time, and you get to a page that's hard for you to do, and then it's like, why it's not, what I mean? It's not working out. It's like, oh, I didn't see that you don't know how to draw feet well. You keep kind of covering them up, or you're not good with hands, or it's always something, or the background is not your forte. It's like, especially when, like, in my story, it's like the setting is a character in of itself. So that's important. And I also learned how, like, even in fight scenes, like, even when they're fighting, just a blurb can go a long way. I know when I pay attention to when I'm reading a book and it's a fight scene, and even though, like, it's gonna be a whole page of a fight scene, but there's no words, it's just fighting, which is cool. But when there's like a word on there, or a quick phrase like "you're stupid," or like "how about now," something like that, it keeps my eyes on that image just a little bit longer, and I appreciate that art just a little bit longer. And I look at that art and I examine, like, oh, that's cool, just because it had 2 or 3 words on it. Something simple like that, and just planning things out as I go has helped me as a writer, and I think is helped my books be more palatable to my audiences. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm always trying to just capture.
You had some books that you wanted to offer up here.
Oh yeah.
Let's get to those.
Shameless promo. Okay, we got. I don't know if you can see it real good. Okay, here we go. Yes, the Dark Ones. This is Godblade. This is a variant cover by a spectacular artist. She's about 18, 19 years old, called Next Verling. She has just posted a video on Instagram. She's a dope, talented, amazing artist. She's a protege of Ray Anthony Height. I met her at a Comic-Con. Asked her to do a cover for me almost 6, 7, 8 months ago, and I finally came out with it. It's a beautiful, beautiful cover. One of my main characters, Johnny. He's a sorcerer. In my book, a sorcerer, half blood elf. He's half night elf, half day elf. But he's spectacular, and Next is a very, very spectacular artist. And yes, I have this book illustrated on the interiors by Lucas Cobell, a very spectacular artist who's doing a couple of my books on there. I'm bad, you can check him out, but you can check out his books on lucascobell.com. I got that right there. This book right here, this issue, variant cover, just $10. Go to my website, janansicomics.com, $10, and it'll be signed by me and everything. And if you wait just a little bit longer for LA Comic Con, get it signed by Next Verling as well.
And she's part of Ray Anthony's studio.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Next, man, she's dope, man. Super talented. They have a Discord as well. My artist, Luke has been taking lessons on Discord too. So I can't wait to, for him to apply what he learned from that on the next little issue we finna do right now. So I'm super excited, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other books did you have?
Oh yeah, this one right here. This is Ebony and the Golden Gun, issues number 1 through 5. Now, my original plan was for Ebony is to release with mini comics, 8-page mini comics, and I collected the first 5 8-page mini comics into one book. So it's about a 48-page issue for you and yours right now. Just the same, $10. By a brilliant artist named Alberto Calafiore. He's from Italy. He's about 20, 21 years old. Spectacular artist. I love the way, because his style is like Disney, but what I write is like Walking Dead. So it's like Disney and Walking Dead had a beautiful baby. That's why Ebony and the Golden Gun. Yeah, right. I got.
Well, now when I was at your table and you were telling me about all this, right? I just want to let everybody know, Ebony was the one that I was interested in. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. She's a dope character, man. I'm definitely, and what my plan was well, my plan is now, as I re-strategize in my little launch and everything, is I have a whole lot of lore and world building in my in my series, but I figured the best vehicle for me to explain that lore and reveal it little by little is through Epie the Golden Gun and her stories, because as she goes along in her adventures, I can help explain a little bit more about the world as it goes on, and just have fun with it. You know what I mean? Because I need that, that avenue for people to explore and just learn. And this right here, this is my collected edition. It's my collected volume. It's an anthology. It has not just Epie and the Golden Gun stories in it, but it has a whole bunch of different other stories within the Dark Ones universe. However, it does not have Godblade. Sorry to tell you, because this is a brand new book. This is my newest book. It does not have the Godblade in here, but it's 140 pages of stories. It has the Jakku story, the god of death. It has the Okumi story, which is twin sister, the gods of life. It has a ghost and a prophet story. It has a whole bunch of special tidbits in the back and artist concept drawings and interviews and inspirations, and it's a double-sided cover. Yeah. Also illustrated by Lucas Cobell. This is just $30 right here. Go to my website.
Okay, there you go. That's a sweet deal there. 120 pages, $30.
Yeah. No, 140 pages.
100. Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Nice.
140 pages. You get a whole good chunk
Head
of
over
story, man. A whole lot
to
of fun.
Jamal's account there and order up.
Yeah. And enjoy. Yeah, and I also got the like I said, the Kickstarter, the Horrorgasm anthology. Right. We're gonna start up another Kickstarter with the crossover. Yeah, got a lot of good things coming up, man.
Yeah, good to see you busy like that. All right, let's take a look at the artwork, see where we stand here.
Yeah.
Starting with Rogue, because Rogue is done, right?
Rogue is done.
That's dope.
Rogue
you
is
did
done.
that in record time, man. That's dope.
Oh man,
that's great.
Sweet. We got 60. We're looking for the next bid of 65.
I will say that.
A bid on that, go ahead and do so in the comments. We have about 23 minutes left.
I was a little. I was holding back, and I wasn't sure if I should throw this up, but I will for anyone who's interested. In celebration of the Red Sonja movie that just came out, I've had this on my drawing table for a little while, and I just finished inks on it. But I do have pencils and inks. But I do have the inks if anyone is interested in.
Whoa!
Damn you! That was so nice, man.
All the detail.
I started watching that movie last night, and I didn't finish it because we had a friend that came over.
Yeah.
So I got to finish that movie tonight.
Wait a minute. So it's a new Red Sonja movie? Wait, what
Yeah, it's on streaming.
Is it good? Do you like it, or is it like
I'm gonna watch it this weekend. I haven't seen it.
Holding my judgment right now.
You said it's on where?
I didn't see that much of it.
Is it on Prime? I think it's on Prime.
Is it on Prime? Okay. I forget where I'm watching it.
I'm gonna figure it out today.
I'm not sure. Yeah, but I do have this. If anyone is interested, 11 by 17 original pen and ink. It's all inked.
And what are you asking for that, Todd?
We'll say I had to ask the wife because I wasn't sure, because I tend to underbid myself, but like I will go 250.
250. Okay, there you go.
Nice.
That's a good price.
That's a very reasonable price.
Yep.
11 by 17, inked with backgrounds on one of the hottest girls in the industry, Red Sonja.
Man,
there you have it. Okay. All right, so we got to look at Rogue and we got to look at Red Sonja. Let's look at the Sheik.
The Sheik.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if I can get the camera. Oh, wires. Okay, there we go.
My gosh,
that shit look crazy.
Right? That's nice.
Thank you.
That look creepy.
Is that watercolor? Is that watercolor?
Yeah, it's watercolor. Putting down some inks. There's a little bit of Poscas on there. Like the camera's not picking it up, but there's some silver and like trying to get some metallics going.
I don't think I'm
going
to sleep tonight with that.
Wait, so the skin is stripped off half his face?
Yeah.
Is that like on a artist paper or a watercolor block?
It's a watercolor paper, just a 9 by 12.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, my sense of direction is off. There we go. Sorry.
You like using hot press or cold press?
I have no idea. I just say like, is this on sale at the store? And I just pick it up. Let's see. It just says it's watercolor paper. I don't know. It's a Strathmore Vision watercolor.
Yeah.
There we go. This is the paper.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Cold press. There we go.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Watercolor tends to be cold press, so that way it can absorb.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, we're looking for $100, just $100 on the sheet, right? So if you want to place a bid on that, go ahead and do so on the in the comments. This is Becca's first time on the show.
Yeah.
So you can make it memorable for her. Now, just to give you guys an update on the Rogue and the Red Sonja, okay? Both of those have got a bid on them, both by the lieutenant. Okay, so
thank you, Lieutenant.
very good on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, we're looking at Mom's
unfinished
Nightcrawler.
Very unfinished.
But this is a different vision of Nightcrawler. And she likes to change things up, make you see something that you have not possibly seen before. So
I'm just drawing him naked a bit, the clothes off, maybe like from below. Of course, waist down, he'll be covered. Don't get excited.
Everybody's sad now, like,
I'm glad because I didn't want to see. All right, so we're looking for a bid of 200 on that. Somebody was asking like how much is the Batgirl and
the Batgirl.
Yeah.
Oh wow. This Batgirl, let's see.
We're gonna bring
this is a 8.5 by 11.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
is that marker?
Yeah, this is actually ink, pencil, and marker.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's dope.
What is this, like 200 and up?
Yeah.
Well, you got it colored and everything. So what do you want?
I don't know. I can sell it for cheap. It's okay.
Oh.
She can sell it for cheap.
But then I did put a lot of back. It's up to you, Mel. I don't care.
It's up to me. 3,000.
No.
I'm gonna tell my wife that. I'm like, I'm leaving prices up to you. I'm just gonna say, Mel's in charge, so you're now in charge. I don't determine prices.
All right, we'll put it up. Okay, it's gonna be like this. It'll be 200 opening bid. All right, so there we go.
Good.
Yeah, we'll put this on auction.
I like how Ilya said it's married to Mel. It's cheap.
All right, Ilya. We're coming to New York, buddy. You better watch out.
Yeah.
But he did say something nice. When I showed the Nightcrawler, he said Mel is ripped.
Yes. That's a portrait of Mel, correct?
Exactly.
This is the Mel.
Yeah,
the
likenesses are amazing.
Yeah. It's uncanny, man. I can barely tell the difference. Yeah, right? Like,
y'all are crazy.
It's my Mel here.
All right. So that's where we stand. And I'm just answering a couple of things here.
Yeah, let's do 200 on 200.
Yeah, so it's $200 starting bid on the Batgirl. 8.5 by 11 colored, right?
We're gonna show it to the show, but I guess
fairly cheap compared to what we normally sell things for. So there you have it, just for you guys. Just because somebody asked.
Oh, have you guys seen the movie called The Barbarian?
With the twins?
The Barbarian? It's
you're talking about the old school one with the twins, huh? Yeah.
No, it's a more modern one. It's like an Airbnb gone wrong. Like it's about an Airbnb.
Oh, no.
Is that on Disney Plus?
I don't know, but it's really good.
Yeah, if you're into horror, you're gonna like it.
If you do Airbnb,
Especially if you do Airbnb,
you
which
just
we do a lot.
Oh man.
You
I'll
have to
look.
watch it. It's so good. It's so funny, and
Okay.
it's also with horror.
Yeah, I'll have to look
Funny
into
and
it.
it's horror. Like, wait a minute, I'm confused.
Yeah, like you were saying, the
reason
old
why
one with the twins. I was like, wait a
But the
minute.
reason why I'm bringing
Wait
it
a
up
minute.
is not only it's very relatable, is the same guy finally made a movie called Weapons. It's out.
Yeah, I've heard of
I
that.
heard a lot of.
I heard Weapons is super good too.
But-
Mhm.
Oh, you watched it?
No, I just heard about like I heard a lot of good things about Weapons. Like it goes
Yeah,
crazy.
same.
lots of good
same.
things.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
You know
Yeah.
what? I watched both. I'm gonna tell you, Barbarian is better.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
But better how? Like better like more scary or better because of
Yeah,
story?
because the something about Weapons, I can tell this guy is trying to be very creative. So he would just split like perspective. Like starts with I'm just gonna throw a name. It's not true. Like say Alex, and then after a while chapter changes, and then so like Betty, you know, like you go like that, and then they all come together in a way,
mhm.
and then
Yeah.
it could be kind of dragging a little bit. But Barbarian is like just straight on.
Yeah.
Like
What he does is
it's so
he's
good.
introducing the characters one by one. Okay.
Okay.
And then at the same time, he's going through the story backwards.
Yeah.
So eventually you get
Okay.
to the beginning
Yeah.
and you're piecing everything together.
In Weapons?
But
Yes. It's
Okay.
basically a mystery. So it's like
Yeah.
a crime
Mystery,
mystery,
horror,
and then it gets like unfurled. Whereas Barbarian is like it starts off.
that has a more linear storytelling.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's so good. I don't know what it is, but it's so good.
Barbarian, the thing what makes it good that you probably like is that
So
it's
funny.
more it is
Relatable.
more horror oriented.
It's very horrible.
Okay.
You don't really quite understand what the horror is until you get to the very end, and even then when you see what it is, it's not all that clear. So it kind of leaves
Okay.
you hanging in a way, wondering
Wanting
like
more.
what that is, where can it happen, can it
Yeah.
happen in your own home or in the house
Oh.
next to you? You don't know. Okay.
So we should
Whereas
watch that.
weapons God, I don't want to spoil
Yeah,
it,
don't say
but you
anything.
you can
Ah,
kind of feel like where it's going.
But for me, it's
Yeah.
a good comparison is when M. Night Shyamalan,
Shyamalan.
whatever,
Shalaman.
came out with Sixth Sense, right? You know
Yeah.
Sixth Sense? It blew people's mind, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So after that, you're like, oh, now I want to watch what it comes with next. And then what comes out next is okay, but it's still not Sixth Sense.
Right.
It has that kind of feeling because it's like after I watched Barbarian, I thought, oh my god, this guy is like someone I should look out for. And yeah. So there you go.
So it sounds like Weapons is like the old was it Guy Ritchie? It was Memento, where I think it's from the 90s, and it literally started from the end, and it was more of a crime noir detective story, and then the end of the movie was the beginning was the end, and he's like he has like memory loss, and so he's trying to piece together like short-term memory loss, like he's trying to piece together this crime. I think it's Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
Or it's Christopher
It's
Nolan,
not
I
Guy
think.
Ritchie. It's not. I don't think it's
No.
Guy Ritchie.
Or maybe Guy Pearce.
Isn't it?
Guy Pearce. I
Yeah.
get those confused because Guy, like Guy, this guy. But it's Guy Pearce. That's a really good movie too.
That movie depressed me.
Okay, I want to thank
depressing.
I want to thank Rook Peace because he placed a bid on the Bad Girl.
Oh my god.
Not surprised, okay.
Okay.
What the heck?
All right, but anyway.
I was gonna show this at the show.
Oh well.
LA Con. Oh well.
Now you got to do another one. Okay, but anyway, it's amazing. It's interesting that you did mention Ritchie, right? Because there is a movie that we did watch this week that had that
Really?
Ritchie feel to it. Yeah, Deep Cover, and funny movie.
Oh yeah.
I like the premise of it
It was
and
funny.
stuff.
It was funny.
Yeah,
So,
it was funny.
it's really stupid. It's like,
but it kind of has a Guy Ritchie
you're right. It does.
feel to it.
I never thought of it that
They're
way.
they're using English actors.
Because you're talking about the Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrels, right?
And all the other stuff that he's done. So if you like that kind of stuff,
Okay.
It has that. It's almost in the same genre. You know,
really
you're dealing with drugs and all this, and then the gangs and all, all those elements, right? But from where it's just hard to believe like where they started and where they end.
It's basically a bunch of comedy improv. There's one comedy improv actor.
Well, it's a bunch of improv
who
comedians.
Make it. No.
Yeah.
Remember? She's the teacher because she didn't make it in the industry, so she teaches comedy improv. And there are 2 students that just came in, so it's those 2 students and her going into this whole thing.
Yeah, they somehow get
embroiled into
involved in the crime syndicate. Okay, so that's all we want. That's the premise.
Interesting.
Watch it. Think you'll like it.
It's just funny.
Yeah.
You mentioned Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Me and my wife actually saw Snatch first.
Okay.
And we saw that in the theaters, and we absolutely loved it. Like first watch, fell in love with it, and then it was like, oh no, they were in like this was like Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrels was like before Snatch. So we watched that, and I'm like, I can't understand a word that they're saying. Like it's their accents are so thick and they talk so fast. It's like, slow down. I'm a silly old white man. Like I can't understand you guys.
Oh,
Mog had the same. Same problem.
I was okay because when I first watched it, I was in Korea. Because it was in Korea, they would subtitle in the movie theaters.
That would be helpful.
To understand everything.
Yeah.
Now, I'm actually curious because you watched the Snatch and then you watched Lock, Stock. So for you, which one was the better one then?
Oh no, Snatch to me, and I don't know if it was just because I saw it first or I felt the pacing was better, the like how they enunciated words was easier to like catch everything. And I love Jason Statham. Like I think it had people in it that I liked as actors and actresses versus Lock, Stock I think it still had Jason in it. I wonder if Jason Statham. He was really young. I don't know. I just felt like I connected with Snatch better. I mean, a dog eating the squeaking toy in the back of the car is one of the best scenes on film ever. So yeah. If you haven't seen Snatch, go see Snatch. You will enjoy it. It is a fun.
Both are good too for me.
Both are fun movies.
I think you're right.
That's the movies and TV shows.
I think you're right.
Podcast.
What about you, Mel?
I like both, so I don't. I just liked his style and the way he did it, how it was
everybody
presented,
together,
and how things fit, and he made it entertaining and funny, and so I don't have a preference on those movies. And there's a couple more that he did that are in that same style as well.
Hey, come on, you and I, we always still joke about it. We make a quote. We say, it was 5 minutes. 5 minutes ago.
Oh, me and Amy do the same thing. Like, we're whatever I'm grilling, she's like, how long? I'm like, 2 minutes. And she's like, well, that was 5 minutes ago. No,
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
5 minutes Turkish.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's how I speak. I speak either movie quotes or movie quotes. That's it. Or song quotes.
What about you, Jamal? Did you watch any of the Lock, Stock, or Snatch?
I ain't watched none of that. I'm over here just enthralled with y'all right now. I barely, because my little schedule, my work and TV schedule, like I barely catch up on anything. Like right now, it's got done. Most recent TV show I got done watching was the Crystal, Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal.
I was telling you about, which is super dope. And now I'm watching Vikings Valhalla.
Okay.
And getting that in. And I was
gonna say, if
I want to thank you guys for coming. We're pretty much like at the end of our show. If you are the high bidder, go ahead and place fill out the link there, and that will finalize the bids, and that way we know exactly where they need to go. Still got maybe a few seconds left. If you want to place a bid on that sheep,
Please.
if you don't,
Yes.
you're gonna be sorry. But
Get it.
anyway, I want to thank everybody for their bids. Stay tuned with us. Like next week, we have Enrique Lopez, and we have and I forgot the names of the other artists already. We have Kyron Silva, who's been on the show before, but not as a guest. That we're gonna bring him in. Right, so we'll have those guys, and hope you guys will come back. And thank you, Lieutenant, for the bid. Got a bid on the sheep for 100.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh,
Lieutenant,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Lieutenant
much.
has pretty much cleaned up,
Yes.
and Rook Piece has got the Batgirl. He continues to purchase all Mog's Batgirls.
Oh no.
Okay. All right, guys. All right. Once again, thank you very much. Hope you guys enjoyed the show as much as we did, and we'll see you next week.
Woohoo.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Thank
All right.
you.